Welcome. Today we're diving into a pretty fascinating food experiment, one that might just change how you look at fast food and your health.
So let me ask you this. Does it sound totally backward to say that the highest calorie burger on the menu could actually be the best one for your blood sugar? Well, that's exactly what we're looking into today, and I gotta tell you, the answer is not what you'd expect.
All right, so the mission was pretty straightforward. Test some of the most popular veggie burgers from McDonald's using a continuous glucose monitor. The goal? To see, in real time, what they actually do to blood sugar levels. And for our final contender, we've got a real fan favorite, the McSpicy Paneer burger. Now, if you're not familiar, paneer is a type of fresh Indian cheese that doesn't melt. So yeah, everyone knows this burger is delicious. But the real question is, how does it hold up from a metabolic standpoint?
Okay, let's take a quick look at the numbers, because based on its stats alone, this burger really seems like the least likely hero of the story.
We are talking about a whopping 660 calories. Just to put that in perspective, this one burger has more calories than any of the others we tested, even more than the McChicken, which is way down in the 400s. I mean, you'd expect a massive sugar spike from this, right?
And now, it's time for the results. And this, my friends, is where our story takes a completely unexpected twist. So, after eating this 660-calorie burger, the final reading from the glucose monitor showed an increase of just
25. That is it, a tiny 25 milligram per deciliter increase. For a burger this packed with calories, that result is, well, it's honestly astonishing, incredibly low.
And to be clear, it wasn't just a good result. It turned out to be the absolute best result of the entire burger testing series, the lowest spike of them all.
But how good is a 25-point spike, really? Well, to truly understand how impressive that is, we need to put it into context and see how it stacks up against the rest of the lineup. Just look at this chart. The difference is pretty stark, isn't it? You've got the McVeggie, which caused a spike of 41, and the McAloo Tikki at 31. But then, way down at the bottom, you see the McSpicy Paneer, sitting pretty at just 25. It wasn't even close.
And the surprises just keep coming. It didn't just outperform the other veggie options. It also completely crushed the McChicken burger, which caused a much larger spike of 42. So what on earth is going on here? How is this possible? This brings us to the final piece of our puzzle. What is the paneer secret? How did it pull this off? Well, the answer is hidden in its macronutrients.
The science behind this is actually pretty simple. When you eat a meal that's rich in protein and fat, it literally slows down how quickly your body absorbs the carbohydrates. It basically acts like a brake, blunting the glucose response and preventing that sharp spike. And when you put the McSpicy Paneer right next to the McChicken, you can see this principle in action, plain as day. That paneer patty is just packed with way more protein and fat than the chicken patty. And that, right there, was the game-changing difference. This higher protein and fat content had a massive effect. We're talking about a blood sugar spike that was a full 40% smaller than the one from the McChicken. Can you believe it? The vegetarian option turned out to be the metabolically superior choice. So let's do a quick recap of the big lessons here. First, pretty obviously, the McSpicy Paneer was the undisputed champion for blood sugar control. Second, and this is a huge one, calories are not the whole story, not by a long shot. And finally, making sure your meal has enough protein and fat is a really powerful way to keep your glucose levels nice and stable.
You know, this whole experiment really makes you wonder, doesn't it? It challenges us to look beyond just that big calorie number on the label and think about the whole picture. And it leaves us with a really fascinating question. What other so-called unhealthy foods out there might we be getting completely wrong?